So, guys, me and Larsen are back talking a little Big East. Pretty much one of the only non-power five schools we're going to do. I know it's a little different for college basketball, but if you missed it, we have covered the ACC, we have covered the SEC. Both of those are up right now. We got some pretty good picks. We got some long shots. We're not going to just going to give you all the favorites. It's easy to sell people on those, but this is probably a conference where we're going to have to give you all the favorites, unfortunately. um, I feel like this is UConn's conference to use. I feel like they've been fantastic all year. Creighton is definitely a contender. Marquette and Xavier could both get in there, but I just feel like it's got to be UConn here.
Yeah, this is going to be a really fun tournament. It's already usually a fun tournament that's very visually appealing, and you listen to Gus Johnson scream, and like it's always a lot of fun. And this year, it's just going to be even more. I think the top 4 or 5 seeds have been kind of levels above everybody else. I mean, even like Villanova is a 6 seed. Don't really buy them. I think a lot of people are going to look at them because of the name on their jersey. I don't see it with them, especially with them, having to play Creighton in the second round is going to be kind of tough. UConn, though, one of the teams I bet for sure around plus 300, just because they had that dip mid-season where it was like, they really went from like the undefeated number one UConn's winning the national championship to then this team is no good, losing a lot of games. But the last month of the season, they've been playing really well. All the metrics have them as one of the, 2 or 3 best teams of the last month. They're kind of back to that early season elite level. So I'm going to take them on that last month status. They're 9-2 in their last 11 games, and those 2 losses they had were by a combined 3 points. So I mean they're coming into the tournament as hot as you can. I hate that they have to play Providence first round. It'll be a great game, a tough game. They should win. But I just think they're playing too well for me to not be able to bet them. I hate to bet the favorite again, but have to.
That's the way it goes. Sometimes, but there are some quality options. We brought them up too. There's Creighton, there's Marquette, and Xavier. And it really feels like it's going to be one of those top 4 seeds. I really don't see how it's anybody else.
Yeah, I think so. The games are going to be so amazing too. Like a UConn Marquette semifinal, a Creighton Xavier semifinal. Just glorious basketball. Do you have anybody else that you're betting other than UConn?
Yeah, so there's something interesting with Creighton too. Is so everybody always says this stat, and they think they're the only person in the world that knows this stat. I do this too. It's that you have to be a top 30 or top 20 in offense and top 30 in defense or something in Ken Palm to win a national title. There's some other criteria, so Creighton doesn't exactly meet it, but they are 27th in offense and they are 10th in defense. And so who knows? This could be a big tournament for Creighton, especially if they can beat UConn, who is 10th in offense and 12th in defense. So these are pretty high quality teams. I'm not sleeping on anybody. I wouldn't be too surprised if any of those 4 teams won, but anybody outside of that's going to be a hard sell for me. Marquette's really good offensively. Defensively, they're so, but they can shoot. And Xavier is kind of the same way. Neither of those teams are super high quality defensively. I think that's where UConn and Creighton will separate themselves is on the defensive side.
Yeah, I agree with the Creighton thing. I'm not going to bet Creighton, but they've been, again, another Big East team that's been up and down. They kind of faltered, I feel like, towards the end of the regular season. People calling them a fraud might have been me calling them a fraud. But they have the talent. They have, Shireman and Kalkbrenner, and they have the talent to definitely do it. I'm not going to worry about them with Villanova. I'm going to try not to worry about them with Villanova in the second round. But I wouldn't be interested in taking any of these teams playing in the first round, your St. John's or anything like that. I wouldn't worry about it. Take one of these top 4 teams. My second one, other than UConn, is I'll take a flyer on Xavier plus 550. Only because, they lost Fremantle, their big guy Fremantle, who, if they have him, I feel like they'd probably be one of the favorites in the tournament because he raises their ceiling so much. But he's out, which is kind of a blow. But I'll still take them because they're going to get Seton Hall most likely in the second round. They're 2-0 against Seton Hall. That's fine. So let's get them into the semifinals. they're going to play Creighton, which is going to be tough. I feel like maybe if you can get them to the championship, you can hedge it a little bit if you want to. But their last 3 losses by combined 4 points. They're playing really good basketball. They lost one of those games because they had a horrible shooting game. Other than that, they're just really efficient. And I'm looking for a team here where the top 4 are all so tough. Who's the most efficient? Third in the NCAA in field goal percentage. Xavier, 40% 3-point shooting. They're a really good shooting team. They have a lot of assists. So I'm going to hope that they can come together without Fremantle and maybe pull it together. But like I said, these teams are tough. I'm not as confident in these as I was for, ACC or SEC, but, these are some flyers, UConn and Xavier. I'll take them.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. This is one of those two where, I feel like the smaller conferences, there could be a little more room for, a little more margin for error. Some of these guys haven't really been tested like that, but I agree with you too. I think it's just UConn's conference to lose. I don't think you can really go wrong with any of the 4 seeds. I think if you're just a value guy, you could take Xavier and probably talk yourself into it, feel really good about it. But this is one of those where it's like Bama in the SEC. I just got to go chalk. I got to take the 1 seed.
Yeah, and there's a world too. I mean, Xavier played okay without Fremantle recently, but there is a world. I mean, Seton Hall, the 7 seed, goes in and beats Xavier second round, and then it's like, there we go, which would be probably great for your Creighton Blue Jays team. Yeah, I mean, you could tell me any one of the top 5 teams you're betting, and it makes a lot of sense. I hate, the UConn having to play Providence first round. It would be so much easier for them to get like a Villanova or Seton Hall. And Providence is sitting there at 15-1, the 6th best odds, behind Villanova. I just think that's Villanova. That's a brand pick right there. There's really no reason, if you've watched Villanova recently, and that they should be ahead of Providence. I know Providence has to play UConn, but it just doesn't make much sense to me. So I don't get that. You would interest me much more in Providence than you would with Villanova, I would think.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way, and I have like this affection for Villanova basketball. I think it was more of a Jay Wright thing.
Yeah.
And even this year, like I watch them, and you could just tell it's not the same brand, it's not the same team, and you can't let that influence your decision making in this Big East tournament, especially with the way that those top 4 guys are playing.
Yeah, and I almost feel like too, which this is a disgusting thing to say, but I wonder they'll be like 12-point favorites in that first round against Georgetown, who is horrible, but like Georgetown at least recently like will put up will make you play the game and make you win. I mean, usually it will end in a blowout, but like it's not like they're going to go in there and sleepwalk their way to the second round. I think Georgetown being in the Big East and probably Patrick Ewing's last game in charge, can we go out and fight against Villanova? I don't know. Yeah, I'm really excited, honestly, just to watch. Like, oh no, my bet Xavier lost. Like it's fine. I'm really excited to watch this.
I got 150 more.
Yeah, it'll be fine if we lose these. I'm just gonna listen to Gus Johnson, listen to Raftery and Madison Square Garden, the Mystique, and it's gonna be awesome. This is gonna be one of the better tournaments, I'm thinking.
I agree. I love me some Gus Johnson too. He's my favorite part of this whole thing. I don't understand the Gus Johnson haters. They're a strange group to me, in my opinion.
I didn't know
the guy gets excited, man. We're not watching golf. Like, come on. Like it's basketball. Let's get a little excited.
Yeah. Well, we agree. That'll be fun. Let's have some fun with it.
Yep. All right, guys. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll talk some Big 10, Big 12. I have some very strong feelings about. I'm going to be throwing around the F word, the fraud word around on a lot of these Big 10 teams, and probably the opposite for the Big 12, because I could probably talk myself into 7 or 8 Big 12 teams winning the Big 12 tournament. Yeah. I think it's the best conference in college basketball, hot to bottom. It's not or top to bottom. That's not some kind of hot take, but I think it might be Kansas again this year. Just a little sneak preview for tomorrow. I think I'm probably going to put my future for the whole thing on Kansas, which I usually don't like to do, but yep. All right, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow.